Greetings, space people. It's Phaserlight coming at you from Nereus F6. We now have Combat License 3, Light Weapons License 3, and this is really where the game opens up. There's a lot more opportunities on the mission front. There's a lot more equipment that we have available at this level. And if you go to the mission tab, you can see the advanced training. Welcome to Combat License 3. This is definitely something worth checking out, worth reading through. It opens up a lot of new opportunities, new destinations and options. So do check that out when you reach License 3. Combat practice. You have advanced combat practice. This is if you are feeling masochistic and want to grind through tons of bots. You can do combat practice. Arm potestas est. That takes you through the end of the tree of the rogue drones. So this continues on the story of the rogue drones. And then below that you see a variety of escort missions, which we aren't going to delve into at this point. What I'd like to do is finish taking you through Combat 3 and get up to Combat 4. So you can see we've got about another 6,000 XP to go until we get to Combat 4, which might sound like a lot, but actually some of the missions we have can get us there fairly quickly with only about 8 or 9 bot kills. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. You just have to know where to go and what mission to take, where to look. But first, equipment. We leveled up, so we're going to buy some new equipment. So we go to the ship tab, and the Vulture Mark III, you can see, requires Combat License 3, Light Weapons 3. It's got 8600 armor, not a lot of cargo, 2 weapons, decent weight, good thrust, and it's basically just a upgraded version of what we have now. So let's pick a color, any color you like, and we're going to purchase a Vulture Mark III, and next we're going to go to small add-ons, and we are now able to buy neutron blasters, so we're going to get a couple of those. And under other add-ons, you'll want a heavy power cell. Not only does it have a lot more generation, it also has a higher capacity. Alright, next we're going to plot a nav route. Well, let's take a look at the universe first. Here we are in Nereus, and the mission I'm going to show you involves fighting the dynamic hive. There's 3 dynamic hives in game. One of them is centered in the Dantia system, one centered in the Metana system, and one centered in the Sedina system. And each of these hives expands over time, and the different governments of the universe will pay you quite a lot to hunt these hives. Now, notice what I'm doing is I'm corner hopping through each system. I don't want to go there actually. Corner hopping through each system so that I'm avoiding the major asteroid belts, and that's so that we don't get pulled into an ion storm. One thing I'm doing differently this time is I've actually plugged in a Gamepad and am using that. I figure you're probably finished with me spinning, maybe getting a little bit dizzy. That's really the best way I know how to fight using a mouse, is to spin. But with a Gamepad you get a lot tighter control, and it's pretty cool to be able to have that much control over your motion in space. It's pretty user-friendly. All you have to do really is just plug and play. But if you want to set up the buttons to do different things, you can do that pretty easily under the options menu. So the way I have it is the right joystick is to look, and the left joystick is to strafe along the front two axes, and then I have L1 set to thrust forward and L2 set to thrust back. Then I have R1 and R2 bound to the primary and secondary triggers. So I'm pretty stoked because next week I'm going to CTIA Wireless, which is a big old convention up in Orlando, and I'm gonna be getting the chance to meet the devs if all goes well, which is pretty cool. They're gonna be there, and I'm gonna head out there on Wednesday. It's about a 3-hour drive for me, which will be pretty sweet. Never been to a convention like that before, but it's actually a wireless convention. A lot of cell phone companies and stuff are going to be there, and the reason for that is Vendetta Online is now out for the Android platform. So we have Motorola Zoom users. It requires a Tegra 2 capable device, so that's the Motorola Zoom, and I think some phones can run it also, and it's pretty cool to be part of an MMO that brings both laptop and desktop users together with mobile device users under a single game galaxy. And the devs are going to be at this convention next week, which I'm going to attend. And yeah, it'd be neat to just ask them a couple questions, maybe get their perspective on past 8 years or so. Let's see, what else? There's also been a new station implemented since the last tutorial I made. It's a station that's been put into the game in preparation of player-owned cap ships, which at the beginning of this tutorial series I said hadn't been implemented yet, but now we have this new hidden station. I've seen it. It's actually huge, bigger than any of the other stations we have in game so far, and that's in preparation of player-owned cap ships. So it's also neat to see that on the near horizon. Other topics I have not yet covered in this tutorial series are plugins. Plugins are little add-ons you can add to the game that are written by players. One of the most popular plugins is called Target List, and you can find it on the VO Wiki website. I'd say most of the Vendetta Online user base probably uses Target List. I actually don't have it installed in this tutorial, just to give you a sense of what the game looks like at its base, cleanest level. But if you want to, you can go to the VO Wiki website, and there's fairly good instructions on downloading and implementing plugins. It's pretty easy. All you really have to do is download the file, then drag the folder into your Vendetta Online folder, and then most of the plugins use just one or two interface commands, and from there it's pretty simple to get up and running. The other plugin I like to use is multi-aim, but that's something you can check out on your own if you have time. Skins are another thing that a lot of players use. The UI is entirely skinnable. There's a well-known player, Lord Spidey, who makes a lot of skins. He's got some pretty good ones. And skins are a little trickier to do. You just have to download the skin folder, drag it to your Vendetta Online folder, then open your config.ini and just type in one line of code, and then you can have a skin. Oops, looks like I hit a storm. Where are we? Yukari C7. Yeah, see there, I didn't quite avoid that asteroid belt. First thing I always do when I hit a storm is push N to check my nav map, so that if I'm making a return trip I don't hit it on the way back. You know, it's like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So take that, Ion Storm. And up ahead, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see Inatros, the first Serco star system. Now, before you go through that wormhole, one thing you want to check is your faction levels, and that is under your character tab. You can go to faction standings, and here you'll see your faction standings with all the major factions. We're UIT, so we start out with pretty good faction with the three major nations, Yutani, Serco, and UIT. If this drops to hate or below, then you will be shot at on sight. We are about to enter the Serco space, so just make a quick check to see that the Serco aren't going to kill you on sight. We're neutral with the Serco, so we're good. And we're going to go ahead and enter the Inatros wormhole. Something else you might want to check out is the website, www.vendetta-online.com. And on the website it keeps fairly detailed stats on all your major characters. Keeps track of your bot kills, player kills, death count, PK to death ratio. Actually, I think it's just a regular kill to death ratio. And you can also see race top times. You can see there's racetracks in this game, and if you post a top time on the racetrack, then it shows up on the website. Dual ladders, just a lot of cool stuff like that. Okay, so these are the missions I was talking about, Hive skirmishes. And these are intense, exciting battles versus the dynamic Hive. And the one we want to take is one of these. This one here. Inatros H12. Now the key bit of information there is Ion Storm in progress. And the reason we're going to do that is because you get quadruple rewards while the Ion Storm lasts. And you'll see just how quickly that allows you to level. So the mission's going to plot a nav route for us, and you'll notice the bar on the left hand side just below your weapons, just above your radar, says Serco 55, Hive 60. That's a little progress bar that shows you how many ships each side has remaining. Remember, before you jump into a hot sector, you always want to plot an escape route, so we're going to plot a nav route back here just in case we got to leave in a hurry. The way a Hive skirmish works is you have to kill more enemy ships and without getting your own side killed. And this sector you see actually does not have an Ion Storm, although the mission said it was an Ion Storm sector, and that's it's a feature, I guess. It's been around for a while, which is good for us because that means we get to we get to see these guys at a lot greater distance. Now, with the gamepad, I get much tighter control as I'm playing. I don't have to spin a lot, which is nice. The only thing I have to be careful of is I don't have quite as much visibility because we're no longer using mouse look. We're just in direct control now. I pull back on the left stick and I strafe down. I push up on the right thumbstick and I look down. Here comes a Seapost Guardian. These guys are pretty tough, but they're easier to hit. Just gotta watch out for their flechette cannons. Will sometimes get you with a stray shot, but they don't do that much damage. You see that guy snuck up behind us. You gotta watch out for that. They tend to do that. Assaults are really sneaky. And I imagine like I'm playing Mario when I'm doing this, one mistake and you're dead, because that's pretty much the way you gotta look at it. If you want to survive for long in these sectors. So I try to avoid red flashes all the time. And for each of these kills we're getting 800 XP. So I mean, you do the math. We need 6,000 to get to Combat 4. So that's about, well, we're more than halfway there already. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Vendetta Online is just a real good all-around game. I mean, I've been playing it forever. I've been here since Alpha. I've been playing since like July 2003. It really is the one game that's always kept me coming back for more. And part of that is just, I mean, what you're seeing here, this type of intense Twitch-based gameplay. I mean, it's pretty cool. You really have to experience it for yourself, though. And do get a joystick or a gamepad. I mean, it's worth the investment. You just get a much tighter control and better flexibility, as I call it. There's many different avenues of gameplay. This isn't the only thing you have available to you. I mean, I'm showing you how to level up quickly here, but there's also trade. You can write your own missions for the game. You can join a guild, Viper Guild. I'm now the lieutenant of. It's the best guild in game, so shout out to all you Vipers. If you looking for an awesome guild to join, definitely check us out. www.viperguild.com. Ah, you stole my kill, you bad boy. And there's just tons of stuff going on all the time. I mean, this is a group mission, so a lot of times you'll join a Hive skirmish mission and realize that there's like 4 other players in the same sector, and they're all fighting this monstrosity alongside of you. And it's just a good way to make friends. It's kind of like there's that new game Rift out that you just walk into a Rift zone and there's like 10 players fighting Rift, and okay, Combat 4. Sweet! So, yeah, I mean, A+ to the game all around. And we now are at Combat 4. If I were to finish this mission, I'd have to kill another 40 Hive bots, you see, but that was like, I don't know, that was like 10, maybe. A few of my kills got stolen, but you can see once you get to Combat License 3, it is a lot easier to level up. See, there we got Combat 4 already. Once you're at Combat 4, now's the time to start thinking about PvP. The only thing I'd recommend before is getting up to Trade License 4, because that'll let you get the fast charge battery, which is really useful. And actually, for our guild, we recommend having combat, light weapons, heavy weapons, and trade / commerce license 4 before you join, and that'll get you where you need. So from here, I mean, the universe is yours. You can just carve out a name for yourself in any playstyle you choose, but hopefully this tutorial series has shown you a little bit on how to get up to a higher license quickly, and thanks for watching. This is Phaserlight signing off.